And Millie Bobby Brown and Henry Cavill have fantastic chemistry. Such a big brother vibe that he has. I am very upset that Mycroft did not make an appearance. We did not get Sam Claflin in this movie, but I absolutely love Mycroft as well. Hey everyone, welcome back to Candid Cinema. I'm Amanda, otherwise known as AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Today I will be reviewing Enola Holmes 2, directed by Harry Bradbeer, starring Millie Bobby Brown, Henry Cavill, Helena Bonham Carter. I loved this movie so much. I am a sucker for anything to do with Sherlock Holmes. I absolutely love the first Enola Holmes. I thought that Millie Bobby Brown did a fantastic job with those fourth wall breaks and embodying this character. And I think that this second one, the sequel, is a bit better in regards to the story. I think this mystery was a bit simpler, and it was a bit easier to follow than the first one, because again, you have character introductions, you have to like set up who Enola Holmes is in regards to like her family with Mycroft and Sherlock. So it's more setting the tone for her. But this sequel really just impressed me even more. It's more of a female-centric story, which I love. Not that the first one wasn't. I think it was more of people just underestimating her, even though she wants to get involved in the family business and become her own detective. So I think there were a lot of things that were holding her back in the first one, whereas this one, within the first like 10 minutes, we do see that she's her own detective. She starts her own agency, and people don't really like believe her. They're like, I'm just gonna go ask your brother. So she has to like deal with that as well. They're like, oh my god, I'm still in my brother's shadow, even though I solved things on my own. Like, that was all me. No one wants to kind of believe her or, ask her for help whatsoever. So we get to see the beginnings of that, her own agency. But this film, the messaging here is that, and it comes from Helena Bonham Carter, who plays her mom. And it's the fact that, like, you don't have to do everything on your own. You don't have to break barriers on your own. You don't have to solve mysteries on your own. You have your group of people here who are ready to help you whenever you want, basically. And you're never alone. I think that's the thing that really stuck out to me in this entire film, because you do see that Enola's on her own, except for, like, Lord Tewkesbury, but he's not really around that much because he's doing his own thing. And she obviously doesn't want to get distracted by boys and romance, so she kind of pulls back a bit and watches him from afar to keep him safe. And yet they're still kind of close, they're connected, but she's more of like a lone wolf, similar to Sherlock, who doesn't really have anybody. So that there was a period of time there that Sherlock didn't have Watson and he was on his own, and Enola would come in and they started to form a bond in this sequel, which I really appreciated. And there was more Henry Cavill in this sequel. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Millie Bobby Brown as Enola Holmes. I think that this is also a way, I'm looking at you, She-Hulk, this is the right way to do fourth wall breaks, because I felt so connected to her the entire movie, and I knew when she would kind of get ready to talk to the camera, and those cuts were really good. Those edits were great. We're the same fast pace. We have the quick editing, flashing from like one idea to another, to like flashbacks as well, to kind of have her connect with the gears turning in her mind. It has to be that fast pace and trying to figure out these clues in the investigation. So they do that incredibly well in Enola Holmes. So I really like this storyline. Like I said, it's more female centric. It's an actual true story that had happened. Of course, they embellish things a bit. It's about the case of the missing women at the matches factory in I think it was in London, and there were women who uncovered this corruption, and they were being taken away and they were lost. They vanished. They didn't know what was happening, but there were women that were standing against this level of corruption at the factory. I really liked that it was a true story. They added Enola and Sherlock, which was really great. Had a lot of fun watching this one. I thought it was really well written compared to the first one. I really enjoy the chemistry between Millie Bobby Brown and Lewis Patridge. I'm so sorry. Lord Tewkesbury. Their chemistry is fantastic. There's one scene that they're dancing together in the bathroom, and I just felt everything. They were so cute together. But like I said, this one has more Henry Cavill. I think he does an exceptional job playing Sherlock Holmes. I think we've seen different variations of Sherlock, obviously from Benedict Cumberbatch and Robert Downey Jr. They played different versions of him, somewhat older. They had Watson. They've been through a lot. This is the early stages of Sherlock Holmes, and we get to see a different side of him, a more lonely side of him. And this movie in particular sets up a lot for Sherlock Holmes. And that made me really happy because I'm such a fan of these books and his stories and all of that. I was obsessed with the BBC Sherlock show. I absolutely love that show. I was obsessed with the Guy Ritchie, Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes as well. I just love them. They're really strong mysteries. The way he calculates everything is just really strong. And to see that pass into Enola Holmes and her character and her movies, and having Sherlock over at the side was interesting. But yeah, there's a lot that happens with Sherlock. I love how the mysteries kind of intertwine. Millie Bobby Brown and Henry Cavill have fantastic chemistry. Such a big brother vibe that he has. I am very upset that Mycroft did not make an appearance. We did not get Sam Claflin in this movie, but I absolutely love Mycroft as well. It had everything the first one did, but with a much simpler story. The pacing was a bit better. It doesn't feel like it's all over the place like the first one because you had to do all these character introductions, set up everything. It's very different. I'm not saying that the first one wasn't good. I liked it, but it was a bit jumbled for me. This one's more straightforward, very simple, and I had a lot of fun with this. So I gave Enola Holmes 2 a 3.5 out of 5. Maybe I'll bump it to a 4, but I had so much fun. I absolutely adore Millie Bobby Brown in this. She kicks major butt, and I love Henry Cavill as Sherlock Holmes. If we can get a spin-off movie, that'd be really cool because they're setting up so much with him. I don't know. There were some name drops in here. I was very excited. I screamed kind of because I'm like, oh my God, they're doing this, but like it's with Enola. So I don't know how they're going to do it moving forward, but a spin-off of Henry Cavill as Sherlock Holmes, so it would be great. So it doesn't take away from Enola and her storyline. I think that if we get a spin-off with Henry, if he has time for it now, so it'd be really cool. I think that that'd be great, but the movie does deal with the fact that like you don't have to do everything alone. You really don't. There are people out there that will help you and support you and love you and care for you and look out for you. So that's a really important takeaway from this. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can always follow me over at AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep watching movies.